welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the most controversial band reunions of all time.
Me and him are like telepathic, you know what I mean?
I know my brother better than anybody else.
When both come together, you have greatness.
Number 10, The Beatles.
Can we really live without each other? When did we lose the touch that seemed to mean so much?
The Beatles got back together? Surely that's impossible. But it's probably a testament to the muted feeling around this mid-90s project that it never really gets a mention whenever the iconic Liverpool band is discussed. The surviving members, McCartney, Harrison, and Starr, collaborated on 2 new songs for the 1995 anthology project, Free as a Bird and Real Love. They were built around old John Lennon demos, massaged into new material chiefly by ELO's Jeff Lynne. The move sparked debate at the time, though, about whether it was ethical or even artistically valid to essentially resurrect a deceased band member. Ultimately, the tracks in question arguably added very little to the overall legend. Number 9, New Order. After the tragic death of frontman Ian Curtis in 1980, the remaining members of post-punk trailblazers Joy Division regrouped, but under a new name. And initially, it was the name that sparked controversy, as some believed it to be a reference to fascism and Adolf Hitler. The band quickly confirmed there was no such connection.
Tell me how do I feel? How should I feel?
Fast forward a couple of decades, though, and controversy of a different sort befell them. New Order reunited again in 2011, but with a different lineup, and notably without founding member and bassist Peter Hook. There followed some long and tense legal issues behind the scenes, largely around the distribution of royalties.
It wasn't intentional, though. We just did what we wanted to do and didn't really listen to anyone.
The fact that the audiences did get bigger justified our bloody-mindedness with not being Joy Division.
I don't know what I made a New Order at that point. We were just doing whatever came into our heads, taking everything that we could take.
Number 8, Fleetwood Mac.
Loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I ever change things that I feel?
Fleetwood Mac's revolving door of members is practically legendary. For this list, we might have chosen a number of moments along their tumultuous timeline. But perhaps nothing highlighted the always present tension quite so well as the recombining of the Rumors lineup in 1997 for the dance tour. The tour itself was a success, but all the talk around it was focused on the unique dynamics of the relationships between band members, and especially between Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. The song Silver Springs was revived at the time. Written by Nicks about Buckingham, it had previously been dropped from the Rumors album in 1977. 20 years later, and the lyrics struck a chord even better than they did before. Number 7, Oasis. The Gallagher brothers, Liam and Noel, were notorious for their volatile relationship throughout their time in Oasis. Near constant reports of backstage bust-ups ultimately led to an acrimonious split in 2009. There followed years of reported bitterness between the two. So much so that an Oasis reunion was widely tipped to be one of those things that would just never happen. That all changed in 2024 when the pair announced a truce and a new tour in 2025.
They've been offered money. It's not about money. All of that has happened. Timing, as the band said in their most recent statement, it's really about timing. This Thursday is the 30th anniversary of definitely maybe their first record. Next year is the anniversary of What's the Story, Morning Glory, their second album.
Fans rejoiced, but the good feeling turned sour when it came to trying to book tickets. Huge demand led to hours-long queues online. And then, if you did get to the front, Ticketmaster's so-called dynamic pricing meant that tickets were hugely more expensive than advertised. Liam and Noel had long been held as working-class heroes, but the pricing scandal flew in the face of that reputation.
And you mentioned Noel, is he coming tonight? Do you know?
Oh no, he won't be here. He's in one of his really big houses, probably eating tofu.
Number 6. Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young.
They began the 70s as the top band in the U.S. and then abruptly broke apart. For 30 years they lived high and low, from adoring stadiums to jail cells, from wealth and luxury to near-death experiences.
When a reunion of one of the biggest bands in the world gets retrospectively labeled as the Doom Tour, it's probably safe to assume that something went wrong. The inner workings of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young had always been complicated, to put it mildly.
We used to fight a lot, sort of like a hockey team, you know? The puck's flying around. The Neil tells this great metaphor for playing hockey. The team's really clicking and everything, and then all of a sudden the gloves are up and they're all fighting, and then they pick them back up and they go back to playing hockey again. It's kind of like that.
But the four appeared to have worked it all out when they announced a reunion and a fresh set of dates scheduled for 1974. In truth, the shows are remembered by fans with something akin to fondness. They're controversial, though, purely due to the sheer scale of the band's reported excesses at the time. It was sex, drugs, and rock and roll to the extreme.
We have made a lot of good music, I'm not denying that, but we have wasted a lot of time. We have wasted a lot of love, and we have wasted a lot of life.
Number 5. Sex Pistols.
Detectives from Atlanta's Vice Squad were in the audience, fearing the group might unleash something unutterably obscene. All they got was a bare chest, a lot of beer swigging, a few four-letter words from Johnny Rotten, and lyrics that might or might not have been objectionable.
It's perhaps not often that the Sex Pistols and the Spice Girls could be accused of the same thing, but when it comes to seemingly blatant cash grab reunions without any real substance, they're both guilty. For the Spice Girls, it happened in 2007, with cynics claiming that their return tour only materialized as no one from the group had achieved a successful solo career. With the Sex Pistols, though, it happened in 1996, with a short run of dates dubbed the Filthy Lucre Tour. The Pistols had once been punk rock's poster children, building their reputation on anarchy and anti-establishment ideals. As a result, many saw their latter-day 90s rerun as being steeped in hypocrisy. The tour was financially successful, but it did lasting damage to the band's credibility. Number 4. Guns N' Roses. As with many on this list, the life and times of Guns N' Roses never did run smooth. The relationship between lead singer Axl Rose and lead guitarist Saul/Hudson became the archetypal will-they-won't-they setup in terms of them ever playing together again. Thankfully for fans, in 2016, with the Not In This Lifetime tour, the pair did reform, for what turned out to be a commercial juggernaut. The years beforehand, though, are mostly remembered for the ultra-chaotic Chinese Democracy Tour, which was littered with cancellations, no-shows, and disappointing performances. Slash wasn't involved, which all played into some ill feeling at the time, but at least they settled the score in the end. Number 3. Van Halen. In 1996, it had been 11 long years since the original Van Halen had taken to the stage. It's little wonder then that the watching world got pretty excited when the group showed up in full, complete with David Lee Roth, to present Best Male Video at the VMAs. The appearance goes down as something of a car crash, though, with clear tension between Roth and Eddie Van Halen in particular.
We're here to present the award for Best Male Video. Michael?
Wait, is that mine? Oh, yeah.
Have you noticed how things have changed a lot since the last time we were up here, really?
Roth's antics during the presentation reportedly led to huge arguments backstage, with it even said that he and Van Halen almost came to blows. Ultimately, the reunion that was teased here never really came to fruition, which only served to fuel the bad blood for years more to come. Number 2. Linkin Park.
Who cares if one more light goes out in the sky of a million stars? It flickers, flickers. Who cares when someone's time runs out? If a moment is all we are, or quicker, quicker.
The tragic death of Chester Bennington in 2017 sent shockwaves through the music world and left Linkin Park's future uncertain. In the years that followed, there were various album reissues and constant talk that they might reform, with founding member Mike Shinoda reportedly exploring a number of options.
Going around like a revolver. It's been decided how we lose.
In 2024, it was finally announced that Linkin Park would tour again, with a new lead vocalist in Emily Armstrong. However, controversy instantly erupted due to Armstrong's ties to the Church of Scientology. It was also revealed that she had previously supported fellow Scientologist Danny Masterson, whose crimes of sexual assault saw him sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. Fans demanded answers, and Bennington's son Jamie criticized Armstrong's appointment as a betrayal. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Doors.
Know that it will be untrue. Know that I would be a liar if I what to say to you. Girl, we couldn't get much higher.
Replacing a frontman as iconic and unique as Jim Morrison was always going to be a controversial move. Yet in the early 2000s, the surviving members of The Doors did just that, recruiting Ian Astbury of The Cult for a series of shows and new recordings.
They include founding members Ray Manzarek, Robbie Krieger, as well as Ian Astbury and Stuart Copeland. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome The Doors!
This new version of The Doors, which went by the name The Doors of the 21st Century, didn't go down well. Backlash was swift and brutal, with many fans and critics accusing them of grave robbing and exploiting Morrison's legacy.
Yeah, come on, baby, light my fire. That's why they said tonight on fire.
In the background, there were also long-running legal disputes between them and The Doors' original drummer John Densmore. All in all, it's remembered as a massive artistic misfire, and as a cautionary tale about the dangers of trying to recapture the magic of a bygone era. Which band reunion did you find most controversial? Which do you feel still managed to work? And which, in your view, ultimately failed? Let us know in the comments.
We made people feel something that was indefinable.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.